Hey everybody, I'm sorry about this. We have so many viewers that our feed just got shut down when we were playing Bonnie's video. So I hope you join us back here. And we're actually, I'm going to see if once we have some people on, we're going to have Bonnie join us, and we will just try and play the video a little bit later. But sorry about this, but sometimes it's not so good to be so popular, but we love it, so keep watching. And let's see if Bonnie is around. I have to put my headphones on so I can hear her. All right. Let's see if she can see us.
You see her right now.
I think we see her. Hi, Bonnie. Can you hear me? She can't hear us. All right.
You hear her.
I'm trying to text her to see. She can't hear us. I think so. I think she's trying to figure it out.
I think we see her.
I'm here.
Hi, there she is.
I'm here. I was
How
trying
are
to find the right page, and everything crashed. We've just.
I know. We had so many people. We had 1,300 people watching.
Okay, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm trying to text her to see.
I've got
She
you.
can't hear us.
Okay.
I think
So Bonnie, you have to
I'm here.
shut down your
I
audio.
think she's trying to figure it out.
She can't hear us at all.
I'm here.
Hi, there she
I'm
is.
here. I was
How are
trying
you?
to find the right page, and everything crashed. We've just.
I know. We had so many people.
Okay, we're gonna have,
people
think
watching.
I'm gonna have to go offline
Yeah, that's absolutely.
How are you?
and reconnect again.
Yeah. I've got
She
you.
can't hear us.
Okay.
I think
So
Okay.
Bonnie, you have to... Okay, so we are going to reconnect back with Bonnie. So things were kind of reverberating because we connected her first and they were trying again. So we're going to reconnect her and see if we can make everything work perfectly here. Thanks for being patient. Sometimes technology just has us tearing our hair out. So what is going on, Mr. Producer?
Not a good day. Well, these people-
Not a good day, but that's all good. We are dealing with a virus and all kinds of things, but
virus and the internet.
virus and wacky internet.
Until you use her headphones, it might be bad.
Yeah.
'Cause she won't. It'll be a
Okay,
little
so we are live right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, people. I'm sorry about this, but we are trying to connect. Bonnie's putting her headphones on so we don't get the echo. We tried this twice today and it worked perfectly. So it's just typical that when we're gonna get down to the wire, it's whack. But thanks for being here. And I don't know if I showed you, everybody saw, I think we were able to show you the blocks for Elvira before everything went whack. So really fun. I can't wait to sew these together either tonight. I may need some stress relief stitching tonight, but I'm hoping to have this done and have one quilt done when we do our real sew along on Sunday. All right, so I'm just going to tell Bonnie that we are getting her a new link, and hopefully everything will work out. So let me just check my phone. I can see if I can answer any questions while we're waiting. And so I can see some people. Okay, so I have a Stripology squared ruler. Will that work for this pattern? Well, the squared ruler does not have the 60-degree line. So unfortunately, for parts of the pattern, it will not work. It won't work fine for cutting up your fat quarters, but it does not have the 60-degree line, so we cannot cut the parallelograms and our blocks. But you can do it with the edge of the ruler and we can make it work. All right. Let's see if we have any other questions. Stash Builder bundle will definitely work because in a Stash Builder bundle, there's 12 half yards, which makes 24 fat quarters. And for the lap size, you only need 20 fat quarters. And if you want to go bigger to full, you need 30. So you would need to add either 3 half yards or 6 fat quarters. So that's good. Let's see. Can you show me what the rulers look like? Of course. Why are they not right behind me? So I will bring the ruler on and put her on camera a little bit later. No problem. So somebody's asking again where to find the fabric requirements. Go to the website. I have a link in the video, in the description of this video. And you can go straight to my blog and download that little PDF, which is the 2 pages, the fabric requirements and the information. All right. Any other question? Maribeth says, this is a wonderful thing you are doing for quilters and great distraction with all that's going on. So thank you so much. All right. Are we still live? I think so. I'm trying to figure it out. It's hard because the cameraman is busy trying to figure all kinds of other things out. So let's see, we have more questions. Oh yes, we are here. Oh, show us the quilt behind me. Oh, I'll show you the quilt behind me. So this is actually from my Quilts of Iceland book. It is my called Celtic Crossroads. So it kind of combines the Scandinavian crosses and look with the Celtic knots, because that's so indicative of my heritage being Icelandic. All right, so Marcia said, just found you, what did we miss? So we went live and then we tried to play Bonnie's video with a walkthrough through her quilt villa, and we went kaput. So it's sometimes when we have too many people on and playing a big video, that really didn't work so well together. So we are trying to connect up and we're getting Bonnie on camera with us. So until everything works out, I am just going to blabber on and try and answer your questions. Kimberly's asking, should we do any cutting before the quilt along begins? So I don't recommend it. Now you will have the pattern a little bit before, so you can, but I will always give you some tips and tricks, just like I was teaching a class. So sometimes it's beneficial and it's going to help you. And I promise you, you're going to get really far with this quilt on Sunday, because it's a very simple construction. So it's just, first and foremost, just going to be so much fun. And just the vision and the idea of all of us sewing together all over the world. I just love that. All right. Jackie says, will you offer any more of the striped bundles with the original bright striped fabrics? Unfortunately, we sold out of that bundle. So you know how fabrics work sometimes. You get them and you can't reorder them, because once they're gone, they're gone. So unfortunately not. All right. Bonnie has not been on yet. Somebody's asking that. We are trying to connect. And somebody said church is canceled, so Sunday quilt along will be our church. That's awesome. Oh, Kathy says, when did I first meet Bonnie? It was in Portland, actually. We were teaching at the same event hosted by Quilt Maker magazine, I believe. And that's when we met, and it was an instant connection. So we've been kind of friends ever since. Now, even though we don't see each other much, it's so exciting when we get to teach at the same places and get to hang out. But that's about it. All right, Trudy's asking, what size will you be making? So I already, like I said, made a lap size out of the Just Red bundle. And that one is a lap and will be done before, but I will also be making another quilt with you guys. So that one, I'm not quite sure. Will be either a lap or maybe a full size. So, any other questions? I think this is the coolest thing that you're doing, and it's so awesome of you. It's definitely your Minnesota Nice coming out. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. For those of us using from our stash, did you say we need pieces at least how wide? So the strip we're cutting is 7.5, and then we need another 2-inch strip for the accent pieces. So just keep that in mind. So with a fat quarter, we'll able to get 2 7.5-inch strips and 1 2-inch. So that's why the math doesn't transfer directly over to smaller pieces, because that's why fat quarters are so great. You have that width, and sometimes they're more usable. So fat quarters or half yards work really well with this. All right. Start times are 7 a.m. Pacific and 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for that. I was flustered in the beginning and I flipped it around. Not the first time, and probably not the last time for me. Kathy's asking, how are you two alike and how are you different quilters? Well, we are alike in very many ways. Probably first and foremost, I would say we love to have fun. So quilting is supposed to be fun. And we both like kind of scrappy stuff. So that's a very similar aesthetic in that sense. Although I like new fabrics. And Bonnie uses everything. So that's amazing too. I do use everything, but sometimes I just pick places for my unfortunate fabrics. How are we different? Yeah, I say that's probably one of the different things. I don't think there's much different in us as quilters, as people. Just love to have fun, enjoy life, because you don't know what tomorrow brings. So I think we're both pretty real in both our classes and all our videos and things. So what you see is what you get, whether you meet me in a class or at the grocery store. So I love that. I love that. Just real people. All right. What size will 20 fat quarters make? That's a lap size. It's a pretty large lap. So it's a 63 by 84. So a long one. Okay. Everybody's super excited. So that's really exciting. So let's check in with the producer. How are things going? Not working out?
Just try to reconnect.
We're trying to reconnect. So we'll answer some more questions. Mickey says, I'm so excited. I see you did your sample 1 in the stash builder I just bought. That's perfect. So you know how yours is going to look. And I will post that photo once I have the blocks sewn together. Do I have toilet paper? I do. I don't have much Lysol, so I'm just staying here. But, you know, it's all good. I've got some hand sanitizer and soap, so I'm good. All right. Somebody asked about the libations that are going to be on topic on Sunday. Of course, I put in the fabric or supply list, optional, a bottle of bubbly. So I'm going to show you a few different mimosas. That's one of my favorite things on weekends when I don't have anything going on, is cook up a big brunch and then of course have some mimosas with it. So you can't really go wrong with some mimosas. All right, so that I'll be showing you a few different things. So orange liqueur and a bottle of bubbly is really on the supply list, but that bubbly, if you want the non-alcoholic mimosas, you can do seltzer, or you can do a bottle of non-alcoholic cider, so whatever you want. Or it could be Prosecco or champagne or whatever. All right, can't wait to start. Let's see if we have any more questions. Maybe we can set a Guinness Book of Records, most quilters quilting at one time. That would be fabulous. That would be so awesome. So let's hope we can do that and keep everybody on. I see we are getting a little dragged by all the people joining us. Jeanette is asking, how is my family in Iceland doing with the virus? They're doing very well. Iceland was very proactive with dealing with the virus, so it's been there for a bit longer than since it's been discovered here in the States. But they were very adamant on people self-quarantining if they came in any contact with anybody infected, or even not taking chances if you were coming from abroad. They self-quarantined for 14 days. And now they are really taking action, and they're testing everybody, whether you have symptoms or not, which is very impressive. And that's something that the health department is working with private companies as well. And they actually tested 1,000 out of 1,000 people. They tested just people that with no symptoms, and they found 9 that had the virus with no symptoms. So that's kind of scary, those people walking around. So now there's a complete shutdown of all events in Iceland, and strict 6 foot rule. So if at restaurants, I believe some of them closed, but some are open, but they have to be able to have tables 6 feet apart and all this stuff. So they're very proactive. So they're doing good. Nobody, I think 3 people are hospitalized in Iceland. That's all. Nobody has died. So that's great. Okay, any other questions? Lachelle's asking, what about that ginger liqueur you used in one of your martinis? That's very good for you. Absolutely. That's always on my keep it in stock at all times kind of staple is ginger liqueur. But ginger beer is in that recipe for the quarantini is actually ginger beer. So I love a nice spicy ginger beer. And ginger beer has no alcohol in it. It's just like a soda with ginger flavor. Beth says in Canada it's mandatory to self-isolate for 14 days when you return to the country. Yeah, that's been in Iceland for probably, I think, 6 weeks. So Marcy said, this will be my first quilt along, and I'm very excited. Thanks so much for doing this. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I mean, I was supposed to be flying to South Carolina today, and so I was supposed to be teaching there for a whole week. I made the decision to be proactive and cancel that, and then, of course, things have escalated so fast since then that nothing would have taken place anyway. So I'm excited that everybody made the decision to stay safe, and everybody needs to stick this out together. We have to do this together because there's going to be so much worse if we don't. Now, to deal with some of the stress, I mean, it's full. I know our elderly are stressed out. A lot of people get stressed out and kind of keep that anxiety built up. So one of the things, of course, that we can do is sew together and just start sewing. Sewing is our hobby, but it's also so therapeutic and such a stress reliever. So that's why I decided I needed to do something. My, of course, initial inspiration was to do something for the folks that in South Carolina that I would be missing out on teaching this next week, and that was my initial inspiration, and then it just kind of grew and got so much bigger. So I'm very excited, and seems like we are getting Bonnie connected again. How are things going over there?
We can see it, but it'll be a delay if she listens on Facebook.
Okay. All right. So I guess we can see Bonnie. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay in the sound. So we'll see how that goes. Should we connect up, or should we hang on a little bit?
Let's see what we get.
Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can hear her. Okay, Bonnie, can you hear me? Yes, you can. I can't hear her.
Oh.
Well, there she is. Oh, I hear you! Yay!
Oh my word, you guys, this has just been so hard.
Well, our producer's sweating, but thank you.
Oh,
honey,
Kirk, he's awesome. He's just awesome
He's
because
the best.
I'm really technology challenged, and the split screen thing makes things hard. I'm just single screen is hard enough.
Yes,
but then
yes.
trying to get this go. So,
Yeah,
all right,
we're here. So
we're
excited.
here.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
So,
everybody.
Bonnie,
Thanks for your patience.
Those of you, I'm sure everybody knows
Oh,
Bonnie.
my word.
You would think everybody knows Bonnie, because how long have you been in the business, Bonnie?
I've been in the business quilting, my first pattern. I started teaching for guilds when I was 26.
Yeah.
So it's been a
Long
long time. Magazines about 15 years. And
tell us a
stuff like
little,
that.
1 minute bio.
1 minute bio.
Oh, 30
Oh my
second
gosh,
bio.
you guys. 30
The
second
elevator
bio.
pitch.
Oh shoot. I love to sew. I love to create. I learned to crochet when I was about 10, and sewing came in when I was about 12, and I loved making clothes for junior high. Loved, experimenting with fabric and different styles and things. But when I got married, it turned to making my house beautiful. We had the ugliest couch on the planet. And I used fabric to make pillows, to make a throw cover, things like that, to beautify our first place. And after that, I had scraps. And then there was a quilt magazine in the grocery store. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yes.
Yeah.
How many books have you written now?
Seven.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's another one in the works. It just I need one more quilt done because you kind of have and with this crazy thing going on that you were talking about, we need to be safe, we need to stay home, and I'm thinking, we need to quilt.
Yes,
because we just might get that one done.
I know. And I was just saying before you came on that quilting as our hobby, the creation part does things to your brain, releases some endorphins, right?
I do believe so.
Yes.
I think that that creativity can heal many different kinds of hurts.
Yes.
And when we can't
just take our minds off it. Mm-hmm.
Right. We can't process something when things just seem so dire, we don't know where to turn, what to do. Just going through the motions of if I just press fabric, if I just iron fat quarters.
Yes.
You can feel your blood pressure just
and that does not work that does not work for clothes. Just saying, if your husband or significant other thinks that you can just take his shirts and have that de-stressing thing, not gonna work.
No, not gonna happen.
And I was gonna say too, sometimes if your brain is too much going on and you feel like you can't work on a project, go to your sewing room, take your fabrics, refold them, sort them by color. That's always works for me. Sometimes when I can't just start something, just go fondle fabric.
Well, and have you ever done this? I have a color tool thing, and there's all kinds of color wheels and stuff with different formulas, what you can do. But have you ever done that with your fabric? It's like find on the color wheel, the colors that you'd like to work with, or maybe there's some sample color plans. And then try to pull your own stash. And don't just do it from one fabric line.
Yes.
Pull in some zingers and some other things like you were doing with your pinks and reds.
Scrappiness is a beautiful thing. Well, I think we have a bunch of questions already. So let me see. Do my pre-washing fat quarters before you quilt? Bonnie, do you pre-wash?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's like right up there with pre-washing is right up there with religion, politics, and how many sewing machines do you really have?
Your iron.
Steam in your iron.
Steam and starch.
If I have things that look overdyed, like if they're batiks or things like that. Now, batiks will not shrink. They've already been pre-washed during the removal of the wax process. They shrink because it's hot water to remove the wax. But sometimes the dye can still be a problem. So yes, on that. Dark colors, I'm a little bit more leery of, but I deal with a lot of scraps that people give me. And let's face it, if somebody's giving you a jelly roll, you're not going to pre-wash a jelly roll.
Well, right? I don't pre-wash. I can say that straight out. I never do. And the only real issue I've had was with batiks. So
batiks can be rinsy.
I just wash my whole quilt with just on cold. And
do you use color catchers?
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that they're not like limiting our color catchers and that like they are toilet paper and bleach.
Exactly. That would be bad. All
the quilters have no color catchers.
Right. So just so you know, guys, I don't know if you missed this before, but Bonnie will be sewing with us on Sunday. So she'll be making an Elvira. And be one of my check-ins live.
I will. You guys, you want to see what fabrics I'm doing?
So Bonnie, you are up in the mountains. So you don't
I am in the
full
mountains.
Stash.
I don't, and my full stash is 100 miles away. But with this quarantine thing, I'm not driving 100 miles. I want my gas in my tank to last a while.
Yeah.
So I have this selection of fat quarters that are pretty dark and murky. And I've had them for a while. There's Civil War kind of. So there's a lot of blue, there's a lot of brown, there's some cheddary stuff. And it's a good thing that my son doesn't watch Facebook, and no offense, but he's really not watching your Facebook. He's
not going to watch my show.
But my son and his girlfriend and her daughter are getting a new house.
That's
it's new to them. So
these look like
they're
cozy
moving
colors too.
Yeah, and I think so it's going to be fairly masculine, blues and browns and reds and greens, and there's some of these others. The way you were talking about that, it's going to be cut an extra that some of your blocks are dark light strip, and then some will be light with a dark strip because they swap. I'm assuming this.
Well, you don't have to swap. You can mix them any which way.
Mix them any which way.
Yeah. So you can pull from your tiny scrap and do a 2-inch strip.
Okay. What is this? What is this, a light or is it a dark?
It could be either or. See, that's the beautiful thing.
Well,
this quilt is not dependent on equal lights and darks. You can throw anything in there, and then if you feel that strip is not, contrasting enough, pull out some scrap and
then put it next to something that you might like
something
with it. So
just contrast, not necessarily light and dark.
These are not my favorite fabrics. I kind of moved past this about 20 years ago. But they're still here and they're still pretty, and I still like the fabrics.
Yes.
So I'm going to use them and see if I can do something that will grace my new son's home, or my son's new home.
That's fabulous.
That's my plan.
Okay, so I said in the beginning of the show we have a live winner that we're going to pull. So we're going to get the producer on pulling a random name from our comments. So keep commenting, guys. Anything. Okay. You don't have to say anything specific. Just keep asking questions, too. All right, let's see if we have another question. Is starching a good idea for this quilt or not really necessary? So here's my deal on starching. I don't starch all of my fabrics at all whatsoever. I will sometimes, if I know I'm going to be cutting a lot of bias and sewing a lot of bias, I will just give it a little spray of Best Press or Magic Sizing. I do not starch to a point where my fabric
it'll stand up by itself.
Yeah, I do not like sewing cardboard. So for this one, I actually tested this out with the first ones I did. And yes, we're going to be cutting one bias, angle. But with the pieces being so big, it's not really a big deal. So if you want to, you can give it a little spray. But it's not really needed. I don't feel like it's needed. But if you are used to starching, do whatever you want. Do whatever you are used to doing. Right?
Good answer. I'm not a big starcher either. I'm not a big starcher either. No. I feel the fabric.
It's a time. There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to change anything that you do on a regular basis. Please just keep that. If you're used to pre-washing, go ahead and pre-wash. It's not going to bother me one bit. All right. Oh, Marlis just said, did you hear this story at the beginning of the show, Bonnie, that I was on Fox and Friends this morning?
Yeah, I heard that. I was laughing. And I think part of my problem...
Somebody has put in a request for a screenshot.
Yes, we want a screenshot if anybody has it. I think that goes... And we want a confession to who sent it to them. Was it on your personal page as public?
No, I'm assuming just, how all the
networks... You have blabby friends.
Interns, they sent the interns, find some interesting things that people are doing in this crisis. And, of course, probably quarantine.
Somebody shared, yeah. Somebody probably shared it, which is cool. I think that's just
that's really
cool.
great.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we have other questions. Let's see. We have a lot of the same questions.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. My aunt is watching from Iceland. Say hi.
Hey, Auntie.
All right. This is really great. So everybody's really happy to be here. And, a lot of people are going to make a quilt of valor from this.
I think that's awesome. I
That's a
think
fabulous
that when
idea.
you do something for somebody else, it really makes our own situation not feel so dire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's such big pieces, so it just allows you to use like really, really big prints. So if you really want to show something off,
Oh yeah.
this is the quilt. Okay, so let's see. Oh, somebody loves your T-shirt, Bonnie.
Oh, this is my birthday T-shirt. My dad gave me an Amazon gift card, and I
Oh,
spent it all on quiltware.
hey, nice. All right,
Okay.
so Edwina says, so glad the quilt police are no longer around. Anything goes. Oh, there's no police
Absolutely.
ever allowed in my sewing room.
No, no, they're self-appointed.
No,
Yeah,
yes.
they can go police themselves.
Yeah, and not welcome.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yes. All right, so a lot of people having fun pulling from a scrap, from their stash, which we should all be calling our collections. And hopefully in these next few weeks, we're going to be just having so much fun in our collections, and this is why we have a stash.
That's right.
Right?
We've been working towards this for
The
decades.
apocalypse, really? Where everybody
Yeah.
has to stay home. Everybody's horrified except
Well,
the
this is going to be really good because I don't know about you, but I've just felt kind of scatterbrained. At first it was like, oh no,
Yeah.
my California trip is canceled, and then the next morning I was like, yay, I'm home, and then I realized that I had all of this other stuff to do, and all the other things started taking
up.
over. So having a dedicated day to do this on Sunday,
Yeah.
and for me to be sewing from your design, that means the
That's fun.
world.
Oh,
Because
I'm
we
so
don't
excited
we
that
don't
you're
often
gonna
have times to break away from our own deadlines, right?
No. And I feel
So
like
this will be
even
fun.
though we're not in person, all of us that are going to be sewing together, that we're kind of in it together. You know,
We are in it together.
As you're sewing, you can think of all the people all over the world that are doing the exact same thing that you're doing. And that just makes
Yeah.
it so cool.
I think
we
it's
can
going to
do
be
that.
really good. Then we should have like a virtual quilt show when we're done.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
we can
So
we
that'll
can
be
post them somewhere.
Tipsy Tuesday. So
Yeah.
everybody posts their photos. So we'll have a lot of cool ways that I will explain on
Okay.
Saturday in that email in a post on where you can post your progress photos. And then when your quilt is done, of course, and then I'll collect all those photos and we'll have a huge virtual quilt show.
Okay.
All the
Sounds
Elviras.
good to me. Sounds
Yes.
good to me.
And also, there's another thing in the works. So somebody asked about this on Facebook Friday show, that we needed to have a playlist to all play.
Oh my gosh.
Because, of course, what comes to mind when I say Elvira?
Elvira,
Yeah. Can you say
my
it?
heart's on fire for Elvira.
Yep, exactly.
The Minnesota
Unfortunately,
twang cannot do.
well, this song never made it to Iceland, so I was
No.
like out of the blue. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh.
And of course, Kirk, he started singing it, and I'm like, okay.
He
And
can
so-
sing it better than I can.
See, being that I have a pretty good professional musician around, he's gonna put together a little Spotify playlist. So if you have Spotify, we will show you or give you the link to where you can listen. We can all listen
Play
together.
and soul.
So some of the songs that we would have on there would be like, "I Will Survive," right?
Uh-huh.
And then Julie, one of my worker bees, suggested that we do My Sharona, but it'll be My Corona.
I still think, because 9 months from now, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We need love potion number 9.
Yes,
in there. Except
yes,
it would
good
be
one.
1-9.
Good
Love
one.
potion 1-9. Yeah.
Yes. So some of the things that you can do to prep for Sunday. I mean, you're excited. You can pet your fabrics. You can press your fabrics. You can make sure you have pre-wound bobbins. Make sure you have enough thread in the house. Put a new needle in your machine.
Yeah.
New needle, a new blade in your cutter, possibly. Check them. Yeah. So it's lots of things. I think
good.
it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
So let's see. Somebody commented on the NBC Today show this morning that I was doing this. Maybe it will not just be Fox and Friends. Wait, what? That's awesome. All right, I can't find any other questions. It's hard to scroll through my phone. Usually we can put it up on the screen, but of course we have more tech issues than ever.
Well, now, from where I'm sitting, my laptop, my camera is a little bit far away from where I'm at. So even if I was looking at the Facebook page, which I'm not, I couldn't see the.
No,
can't see the.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah. And so I had a couple things. So we were going to attempt to play your whole walkthrough video before, but that's when everything kind of went.
We crashed. We took down Facebook. They can find that on my YouTube channel, by the way.
Yes, and I will post it too on my page, so they can watch it. Because
Sorry about that, guys.
It's so cool. Now, tell me a little bit about this. Was this a dream that you've had for a long time?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I attended my first quilt retreat more than 20 years ago, and what happened was, we go focusing on the sewing that we're going to get done. Mm-hmm. But what we really got done was we built relationships with other people while we were sewing. So the sewing is the thing that brings us together, but it's not the main event, the togetherness and the friendship and everything. And I wanted a place that just the Elm Creek novels. I could have groups of people come and leave their life behind, because we've all got stressful things. And under the guise of sewing, right? We're going to tell our husbands and our significant others, we're sewing all weekend, but really, we're rediscovering who we are.
They don't really know.
No, So we, instead of being
too. I mean, they have guy retreats too, and
I'm going to do a guys retreat. Quilters in general. But you just you show up and you end up being who you are instead of being whatever your job is. You're the wife, you're the mother, you're the grandmother, you're the aunt, you're the sister, you're the daughter, you're the whatever it is. But you get to rediscover who you are. And
I think that's just
wonderful.
So true about quilting too. I think it's one of the few hobbies in the world that when we come together, it doesn't matter where you're from, how old you are, what color your skin is, what your religion is, any of those things, because you put a little cool piece of fabric in there and everybody's excited about it.
Ooh, yeah.
All of that other stuff goes away when they walk into the class. And I love that.
Yeah, it's the great unifier. I really think it is.
Yeah, because many other hobbies, for example, golfing, you golf with your colleagues or your peers or whatever. But quilting has really just come from all over.
It's everybody. It's everybody. Yeah.
So then you just happened to be driving by this house.
Yes. We had just looked at the cabin property that we bought 3 years ago. And when we first saw that property, my husband said, well, let's take a drive around the area and see what else is around here. And this house, the retreat house, had a big, screen. I see it, had a big for sale by owner sign. And I did a double take and I said, oh, wouldn't that be great if? And he said, don't even think about it. So
of course not.
A year later, it was still on the market and it was the right time.
Yeah,
it was the right time.
I mean, that building is just exceptional.
It really is. So we host retreats for 12 people, and we're doing this a little bit differently. It is a group retreat facility. So the group gets the entire house. So it's not like a bed and breakfast where you can say, I need a room for two. Or whatever. It's set weekends, and retreats always start on a Thursday, and they can continue past Sunday if you want to add days. But it's working really well. And what's nice is I've met people in my local community who I didn't know before, who do things like housekeeping, which is wonderful. And to keep my housekeepers, I can only book them on a Wednesday because they are busy doing other things any other day of the week. So retreats always start on a Thursday because the cleaners only work Wednesday. And then we've got people in the area who are willing to do catering or things like that. So it's really bringing this community to as a newcomer to this community of only 3 years together, and I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So how many groups have you had so far?
So far we've had 4, And number 5, it was supposed to come the 2nd of April, but with what's going on, we may have to push them a little bit further away. But
Yeah.
we just like drawing for your winner tonight, we
Yeah.
did a retreat rally where groups who wanted to book a weekend signed up for a drawing, and we used the random number generator to draw groups to choose their weekend.
To book.
Yeah. So
Right.
we're fully booked for 2020, and we're starting to book into 21. And I'm only going to stay booked 1 year in advance.
Oh, good idea.
Because I don't want my life to get so
No,
out of
you
whack
never
that
know
if
what's
something
ahead.
no,
For example,
just like this,
a pandemic.
this, right? Exactly. So
it's going to be
I'm
interesting.
excited.
I have
Yeah.
South Carolina to try and rebook them and fit them in, and
Yeah.
it's going to just escalate. So, our lives are interesting. Us teachers that
And I
have
think
our life
yeah.
planned out for the next 2 years.
Yeah. So if we just be a little bit flexible, and the people
Yeah.
we work with
There's
flexible,
nothing we can do. Like I said,
That's
we're
right.
all in this together.
and we're
Might as
healthy.
well just put a smile on and
Yeah.
keep sewing.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
we have a
right.
winner.
We
Our
do. Who do
live
we have?
winner is, drumroll, Pamela Casey.
Yay!
Congratulations, Pamela. You have won a $25 gift card to the GE Designs store. So we will contact you through Facebook and send you a link where you can just go shopping. So
Oh,
no
that's
need
fun.
to leave your house.
That's really fun.
It'll come to your
I
door.
love that. I love that.
Yes. So let me just run through here and see if there are any questions, dire questions. And somebody asked, what is a playlist? So that is a list of songs that you can just hit play, and we'll
It's
be all
the
listening to the same
soundtrack
stuff.
to your
Soundtrack
day.
to your quilting. Charlene is asking, how long does this ship a ruler? 2 to 3 days is priority mail, so 2 to 3 business days. All right. Oh, Terry Atkinson is watching with us.
Hey, Terry.
She will actually be one of our live check-ins on Sunday. So yay, she's also going to sew with us. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Nothing else? There's so many great comments. I'm going to have to listen to, I'll read through all of these later. It's so awesome. Oh, Linda asked if you already drawn. We did.
2019, everybody.
We did. And thanks
Yeah.
everybody who hung in there and waited for me to figure out which end is up, because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to page or the Facebook page or whatever,
all
or
good.
the
We figured it out. Now we got it all working for Sunday. We got it working
Okay.
for Sunday. So
Okay. Yeah, we did.
And I think we might have to have ourselves a quarantini after the show. After all this stress.
Just one.
Just one. And it will make
Yeah.
you sleep good. There's all kinds of good stuff in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so any other questions or things we need to talk about before Sunday? No?
I'm
What do
really
you
excited,
think?
you guys.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
I'm
I
so
need
excited
this
that-
as much as you do. I think we all need this.
Right, and for us to be at home at the same time, be able to do this,
Yeah.
that would have never happened without a pandemic.
Oh.
So there's good in it. There's good stuff.
There is. And
Yeah.
I know that there are those of you who are worried the same way I am, and the way you are too, Gudrun, with your parents being far away. And
Yeah.
my parents
It's always
are,
hard.
other side, kids the other side of the country. And so
Yeah.
we need something like this, and trust that they're taking care of themselves while we're taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, I've gone through
Yeah.
some things in my life, and literally, I also think that humming of the sewing machine. Sometimes you just need to feed fabric through, and you know
Yeah.
how I think they use this in therapy sessions, some vibrations. So that machine, and after like
Yeah.
15 minutes, I was good. Sometimes I just come home, and 15 minutes later, I'm all good. Now,
Yeah.
what I pieced, I didn't really know, but that worked for me at that time in my life very well.
Oh, good.
So if you feel like that, just get up in your sewing area and start feeding fabric through. It
I'm
works.
excited.
Totally
excited.
works. Well, like I said, I will post Bonnie's tour of Quilt Villa with amazing retreats. I have to say, you thought of everything. I would have never thought of
tried.
these things.
be on
I tried. It was, USB ports on the table because everybody's got to charge their phone, right?
Yes.
And USB ports in the reading lights by the beds because they
The
got to charge
lights,
their
and then the
phone.
reading lights in
Yeah.
the gathering room if you wanted to hand
Yeah.
stitch. In the
Oh,
bedrooms, luggage rack. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Yeah.
So many
It's
Airbnbs I've had
wonderful.
to stumble over my suitcase.
Yeah. We've
Yes,
tried to.
and USBs all there, and oh, it's a beautiful thing. Just
Thank
beautiful.
you so much.
So
Now,
I
when you
picked out
come
my
to,
room.
you did, because I
I
want you,
did
I
pick out my
want
room.
you to think about this when you come teach at Pigeon Forge next year.
Ah,
I'm teaching there too, and I'm only 3 hours away. So
yes, that might
come
be
for a
our
visit.
chance. So
Yeah.
we're both now. We're letting the cat out of the bag.
Are we? Oops, I
Maybe.
didn't say that. Was I supposed to not say
We
that?
may or may not be teaching
We
at
may or
Pigeon
may not be.
Forge. Whoops. Well, forget that we said that. Okay.
Okay.
You'll find out later. All right. Well, thank you so much, buddy. We will be back live with you on Sunday. Can't
All
wait.
righty.
Sunday fun day.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks. Well, thank you everybody for being with me. I want to just finish off the show, of course, with our giveaway question. So we had one winner already in the live show. And so for our giveaway question, all I want you to answer is this. Who are you making the Elvira quilt for? So it could be just for you, it could be for somebody else, or just for fun, or a donation. I would love to hear it. Maybe you don't know yet. So put that in the comments. So we're going to pick a random winner out of all those comments, and we will announce the winner actually not until next week, because of course we're going to have Tipsy Tuesday next week. Because, of course, I'm going to be home. I wasn't supposed to. So now there's going to be lots more videos and lots more fun online with me being stuck at home. So all of you are going to benefit, I think. So that is, just post your question, your answer to your question there. And then, of course, I would love for you to share the video if you love what you saw. I'm sorry we had to kind of go in and out, but we will fix all those issues before our next big day of broadcasting. And like I said, next Tipsy Tuesday will be March 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, if you are in Gudrun's Quilt Crew on Facebook, that's my closed group, please join if you are not in there. I will be live this coming Friday. And, of course, with a cocktail in hand, that is at 3 p.m. Central Time. And I will answer any last-minute questions you have about the quilt-along. So I hope I will see you there. And any information, let's just put my website up for one last time. If you are looking for number 1, signing up for the newsletter, or number 2, for the info sheet and the supply list, you will find it on the blog button under when you go to gequiltdesigns.com. But that is it for me tonight. I thank you so much for joining me and being here with me. We set a record with numbers of viewers, and let's keep it up. I'll see you next time.